So today we're going to talk about something that everybody does, but no one likes to talk about: going to the bathroom. When it comes to disability inclusion, it's really helpful to understand what to expect when you take students to the restroom. And the truth is, most of the time, things go just as you would expect, no big deal. But we've learned over the years there are some things that you may want to be aware of so that you can plan accordingly. So we're so glad you're here. Oh, hey, there you are. I wanted to talk to you about something really important with your ministry. Nope. Nope. Going to the bathroom. Oh yes, disability inclusion and the restroom. Let's talk about it. So today we're going to talk about a subject that we rarely talk about at church, the restroom. Now, if you're in children's ministry, you're already familiar with this subject, but your thoughts may stop at the nursery room diaper supply and elementary splash fights at the sink. And if you lead any other type of ministry, then you probably don't think about the restroom at all. But you should, because creating accessible churches for people with disabilities means thinking about everything from a new perspective. So today we're going to talk about 3 things you should consider when it comes to disability inclusion and the restroom. Number 1, let's talk about policies. Most churches already have a restroom policy in place, but does it work for older students or adults who need assistance in the restroom? For instance, if a student came who needed help physically or one who needed instructional assistance such as verbal prompting, would your team know what to do? Would a caregiver be called, or would a volunteer be expected to step in? The answers to these questions may differ depending on what you, your church, and the family decide, but what matters most is that you have an agreed upon policy set before you need it. So start talking about it now. Number 2, let's talk about what to expect. Most of the time, things go as you expect. But then again, sometimes the unexpected can happen. So it's really important to be aware of a few things that you may encounter, such as some students who have developmental disabilities do not always abide by social norms, and this includes the restroom. This may look like having different feelings towards privacy and modesty, which can take others by surprise. If this is the case, work on a plan that allows the student and others to feel comfortable and have dignity. Another thing to be aware of is that for many students with developmental disabilities, transitioning from one activity to the other is tough, and this can include the bathroom too. Occasionally, you may have a student who doesn't want to stop playing in the sink to come back to class. So be prepared for this by reviewing transition techniques before you go. And a really important thing to know is that some students may try to elope. No, not that kind. Eloping means to run away and is a common concern for some students on the autism spectrum. So if you have a student who is prone to eloping, be sure to take precautions to keep them safe. And before we wrap up this section on expecting the unexpected, expect this too. You may not feel prepared to handle some of these restroom concerns, and that's okay. How you feel matters too, so talk to your ministry leaders and let them know how you feel. And if that means that a parent or caregiver is called when a student needs to visit the restroom, that's okay. Because when it comes to creating plans for disability inclusion in the restroom, what matters most is not how you do it, but that you, your ministry leaders, the student, and his family all agree on the same plan. That way, everyone will know what to expect. And number 3, let's talk about dignity. Differences with the restroom don't stop with next-gen ministry. Anyone in the church can have needs that are not met by a standard restroom. This is why it's important for churches to have a family bathroom that includes an adult-sized changing table. Because while we don't often talk about adults needing assistance in the restroom, it is a reality and one that we want to meet with dignity. Because here's one more thing we rarely talk about. When an older child or an adult needs a change, if there's not an adult-sized changing table there, then they may have to lay on the bathroom floor. Would you want to lay on a public bathroom floor? Me neither. So let's do something about that. Well, I think we talked about a lot, but there's one more thing before you go. The next time you go to the bathroom at church, oh yes, we're talking about it. Stop and think about what it would feel like if it weren't so simple for you. How would you want your church to treat you? Yep. Thanks for joining us today. If you liked this video, we hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel and share with others.